You got Leon D here, and we're going to talk about food. I'm not an expert on anything to do with food, but I've been around a long time, and I am a professional barbecuologist. I know food. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know a lot of things that you may not like. That's the intro for Leon D. Let's get it on. Yeah, this is your boy Leon D. I'm back here, and I need to talk about some things here. Today, I'm going to tell you about people who can't cook. And you might fit into one of these categories. And if you do, I know that you can't cook. It's simple as that. Let's talk about something. A lot of people think because I just bought this smoker, it cost me $1,000, that I can cook. If you could not cook before you bought that smoker that's nice and looks good on your deck, you can't cook after you buy it. If you can cook before you bought it, you can't cook after you buy it. See, here's how it works. When it comes to barbecuing, you got to work your way up. You got to work your way up. And what I mean by that, go out and buy yourself something really cheap. Buy yourself a cheap smoker. One around $300 to $400. Maybe, a charbroil or something like that. But don't go out from the very beginning and buy something expensive, because you're going to spend a lot of time on YouTube trying to figure out how to use it. So when you buy yourself something cheap and it doesn't go right, it's not a big deal. You didn't throw away a lot of money to find out you can't cook. But if you go buy something expensive, it don't mean you can cook. It means just that it looks nice on your deck. But everybody there realizes that you're not using it the way it was designed to be used. Now, saying that, just because you can say the word vodka, don't mean you speak Russian. Nope, nope, nope. Just because you can say Hennessy, don't mean that you can speak French. That's not how it works. Saying something and being able to do it is two different things. Now, I got the top of the line Traegers, but don't start off like that. No, I spent 15 years working my way up to those smokers, because they got a lot of features on them, and you need to know how to use all the features. But I cut my teeth on the cheaper ones, and as I got better at cooking, I decided to move up to those top of the line ones. So what I'm saying to you is that a lot of people can't cook, but they got nice things. Just because you got a Corvette don't make you a NASCAR driver or Indy 500 driver. It doesn't make you that. It means that you got something similar to those who are, but it don't make you one. Now, a lot of people say that's kind of cruel and mean. No, 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 no. On this show, we tell you the truth. And like I said before, we're not experts at anything, but we're going to tell you the truth about things we know. We know what we know because we either done it, seen it, been there, or watched somebody else make a huge investment and a huge mistake. So that's what I mean when I say that. Now, people tend to think that if I buy the best there is, that makes me the best. No, that makes you stupid as hell if you don't know how to use it. And if you can't control it, it makes you even dumber. And if you're gonna do that, do it when you're home by yourself. When I buy these Timberlines and Ironwoods, Traegers, the XLs and all that, I promise you, I've done a lot of homework before I even thought about buying them. Because I can go buy one and use it like it's nothing different than a cheaper Traeger, like a Pro 22 or something like that, or a Pro 34 or whatever. Yeah, I can buy those, and I've had those, so don't get me wrong. But that's where I cut my teeth at. I've had those for a while now, and that's where I cut my teeth at. But some of you think that if I go out and buy this Masterbuilt, 800 or 1050 or whatever, I'm a professional smoker. 99% of people who buy those kind of things can't control the fire. They can't control the fire. they end up with burnt food, nasty food. They don't, when you buy the top of the line stuff, when you buy it, it's simple. You should have mastered seasoning your food. You should have mastered quite a few things before you jump out there and buy something like that. You should know how to do a brisket with your eyes closed. You should know how to do a pulled pork and ribs and chicken and stuff. I do lamb, I do shrimp, I do a lot of different things on my huge smokers. I do a lot of different things because I want to master those things before I move up to the Cadillac of the smokers. You should be able to master your fire techniques, and you should be able to know where your hot spots and cold spots are. You should know all that. None of that should be a mystery to you. You should say, if I put the food over here, this is a hot spot. This is where the smoke is being circulated at. You should know all that. When you spend $2,000, $3,000, and $4,000 on a smoker or a grill, you should know everything there is. You should know what kind of pellets make food taste a certain way. Those are things that you should know. If you don't know that, don't waste your money. Because now, when you buy that pretty ass smoker there, it's no different than a plant on your deck. It looks pretty. It's going to grow at its own pace. It is what it is. So, don't go out and do things that you're going to regret, or you're not getting your money out of it. $3,000 and $4,000 is a lot for a smoker. You should be able to get all your money out every time you smoke food. Every time. I've had friends over my house, and they asked me, about the flavor of the meat. They think that they're eating wood that tastes like ribs, because the smoky flavor got them thinking, damn, the wood is mixed in with the ribs or with the burgers or with the brisket. No, that because I have mastered my meats and my smoker. If you master the meats and the smoker, you are winning. But some of you, you go out and you buy the top of the line stuff, and you're using it no different than if you bought a Weber grill. You're using it the exact same way. You're getting the exact same taste, and you're cooking it at 350 degrees. They say that my grill go up to 500 degrees. I would never know. I will never know, because it takes a lot for me to get to 250. I'm not going to go above 250. Very rarely. Now, in my catering business, I crank it up a lot to like 275. It all depends on how much time I have left to go ahead, and get food ready to be delivered at a certain time. But for the family and friends, nah, I'm not going above 225. It may take me 16 hours or 16 days, but I'm going to leave it where I got it at. So I'm not going above that. But some of you go out there and you think, I bought this top of the line, whatever. And don't get me wrong, you got camp chefs, you got the Traegers, you got the Masterbuilts, you got the Charbroil, you got all types out there. You even got the homemade smokers that someone has built one for you out of a garbage can or oil barrel. You got all that stuff. But when you first get it, spend some time, and I'm going to be honest about it. When I first buy smokers, I test them out with hot dogs. Something that's cheap, and if it goes wrong, I don't figure it out right away, it ain't going to kill me. It's cheap. I don't buy a brand new smoker and say, let me buy 20 briskets and see can I figure it out. No. I'm not spending $500, $600, $700 to figure it out. I'm spending $4. Going to Costco, get me a 40 pack of hot dogs, and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find out what my cold spots. I'm going to find out, is 350 really 350? Because 350 on your grill may not be 350 on my grill. So if you follow a recipe, that recipe is going to tell you certain things, But every single smoker is different. It's like DNA of a smoker. It's a little bit different than the one they just built right beside yours. You may read 248. My 248 might mean 250. But I'm going to measure it to see exactly what is in there. Take your probes you get for your meat and just lay them on there and see, crank it to 250 and have your probe see what it says. And move the probe around too. Move it from corner to corner. Now, the new Traegers are pretty smart. What they did was they put a heat shield in the very bottom. What the heat shield does, it allows all four corners of the smoker to be at the same temperature because it disperses it equally, kind of like an omnidirectional antenna. It disperses it equally in all directions. So the temperature is the same in all directions. See, that's something that you got. See, that's something that nobody else does. So when I read 225 on my left corner, my left upper corner, I'm going to read 225 in my lower right corner. So those are things that's important to know, because also that tells you no matter where you put that meat on that smoker, it's the same temperature on all four corners. So when you put chicken on the left side, it's the same temperature as chicken on the right side. So it's kind of like an indirect without being indirect. It's more of a kind of like a direct underneath the meat. So when you rotate your meat, it's the same temperature no matter how big your smoker is, east to west, north to south. I love that feature. But saying that, if you don't understand all the technical capabilities of a smoker, buy the cheap one and figure it out. And you can't do it while you're babysitting, while you're sitting there talking to your wife and everything else. You can't do it. Have some man time. Just go do it by yourself. Have some man time. So, saying that, it's one of those things that if you're a novice, understand that you are a novice. It's like being a side piece. Understand that you're just a damn side piece. You don't get the same rights and benefits as the main piece. And that's the exact same way a smoker works. A smoker knows if you're dumb or not. It knows. That smoker can say, you know what? He is in above his head. The smoker's talking to you. Because he said that every 5 minutes, he keeps opening my damn door to see what the temperature is. Even though he got probes and the thermometer telling him, and the temperature gauge is telling you what it is. Why in the hell you still opening the door to see what the temperature is? There's no need for it. And all you people, a lot of you people got to quit doing eyeballing shit. Quit eyeballing stuff. Get a thermometer that costs you $10, but you eyeballing stuff. Consistency comes from doing the same thing over and over and over the exact same way. That's where you get consistency from. It is not about doing the same thing differently. I know a lot of you believe in that, but that does not equal consistency. So using your new smoker that costs you more than you probably can afford, or it's not so much, how much you can afford. That's not the problem. We all can find ways to buy what we want. No matter what your income level is, we can find ways to buy what you want. I got a cousin that ain't had a job in 25 years, and he drives an Escalade ESV Platinum top of the line because he finds ways to buy what he wants. Now, I'm saying that he may not have a house or he don't eat very well, but he has his cars because that's what's important to him are his cars. He just have that mentality. I'm going to have my car and the hell with everything else. And I totally understand that because you only live once. Buy what the hell you want to buy to make you happy. In my case, it's my smokers. They kind of like having, a bunch of girlfriends and you love them all equally. I use all 12 smokers for different reasons, for different things. I don't mix a lot of meats on different ones, but that's just me. But if you only got one, it's a lot easier to understand one woman than it is 12, or 12 men than it is one. It's a lot easier to have one and say, I got the one I want. Now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to experiment on a given Saturday. I'm going to throw these hot dogs on here and I'm going to experiment all over the damn place. And you can bring the neighbor kids over and say, try this hot dog, try the hot dog. Bring the neighbor kids over and just give them free hot dogs. But my point is, don't have your smoker smarter than you. Be smarter than your smoker. Don't, and so if you're going to go out and buy something that's over your head, like anything else in life, figure it out and master it. Use it to your advantage. A lot of people don't quite understand that, but use it to your advantage, because you can come up with some great tasting food if you understand your smoker. Because the key to great food, knowing your smoker, seasoning, and knowing your meats. If you know those, life is easy. You can make some hell of a food and invite your friends over and say, listen, try this, try that. You can do all that if you understand your smoker. Your smoker can be your best friend or your worst enemy. But here's the beautiful part of it. The beautiful part is that you get to determine that, not the smoker. I have seen people get beat up by the smokers. I mean, they can't control the fire. They run out of pellets. And the newer, bigger, sophisticated models tell you when you're out of pellets. They got Wi-Fi apps that tell you exactly what the temperature is when you're out of something. They tell you all that. You ain't even got to guess. You can be almost named as Donald McDumb. You can be Donald McDumb, and that smoker will tell you, I'm going to make you smart. But you got to want to be smart. Some people are happy as hell just being dumb. I know quite a few of them. They dumb as hell, and they're happy. I never want to feel like I overpaid for anything. I don't care what it is, especially my smoker, because I always feel like the smoker's talking to me. I just got to listen. Yeah, I just got to listen to it. Once the smoker starts talking to you, then they singing to you. First they talk to you, and then when you almost got to figure it out, they start singing to you. And then once you figure it out, you hear nothing but opera. It's just a beautiful sound. You're like, this has got it going on. But when you first buy it, you kind of feel like Tupac. It's me against the world. And then all of a sudden, you get good at it. Tupac says, I ain't mad at you. But you just got to want to do it. You can't sit there and just say, the smoker's going to work for me without me working for the smoker. No. It's a two device relationship, you and the smoker. But you can walk down the aisle holding hands, or you can be in jail punching the shit out of one another. It's your choice. Now, saying that, when you first buy it, try it out and see what you know. And then go look at YouTube and look at the features that you have that you're not using and figure out why you're not using those features. Go to YouTube and say, hey, I can do a lot of things. Whoa, I didn't know I had that on here. What the hell? I didn't know I had it. I didn't know how to use it. Now I know. I know people who buy smokers, know how to turn them on the first day and can't turn them on the second day because they have quickly forgotten what it took to get to their first day. Cleaning it, cleaning your grill and keeping it pretty and all that. That's what you kind of want to do, but that's not the reason you bought it. You bought it to have some great tasting food. And the only way to do that is to master that food. You master the food by mastering the grill, and you master the seasoning, and you master the meat. You do all three of those good, your friends will never want to go home. They will come there prepared to stay the night. And that's my whole point, is that some people can't cook. Some people will never know how to cook. And some people will make progress and be a decent smokeologist. And then some of us, like myself, will be great at it because we really care about this particular art that we're involved in. And in this art we're involved in, we want to be the Picasso, the Da Vinci's of mastering it. Can't nobody tell you about your grill but yourself. You can read 5,000 books. You can call whoever you want to call. Their situation is going to be like yours in some cases. Most cases it's not. When it's like yours, there's going to be something slightly different than them versus you. So don't have the mentality that everything is the exact same. Every grill smoker has its own unique fingerprint. And it's up to you to do the DNA to figure out which one you have. So if you want to know more, hit me up. But there isn't any kind of brand that I've not had. And I've always figured out all the brands, and I always figure out why I prefer one brand over another. I prefer one brand over another because one brand just stands out. But if you want to know which brands those are, I'll always tell you the truth. I don't care what you buy. I don't get nothing from anybody. Nor will I ever accept anything from anybody. I'm going to tell you the true and raw story behind what I talk about. So, if you want to impress people, don't worry about impressing them. Don't worry about impressing them about what you have on your deck, or in your garage. I used to smoke in the garage before when it snowed. But don't worry about impressing them with that. Impress them with the food you present to them. That is what impresses most barbecueologists, because I'm like, this is some damn good food. I've had, great food from a smoker that costs $299, terrible food from one that costs $4,000. Oh yeah, I've had the run of the gamut. But when I think about how you can have the same great food that I produce every single time I smoke food, I want you to avoid the mistakes I made when I first started. Oh, I've made some mistakes. But at the end of the day, it was #winning. I won every single time because I concentrated, I did the things I had to do, and I made it work. But I had to do my homework like a scientist. I had to come and figure out how can I tear this apart and make it better. And if I ain't got to tear it apart, then it's me. You can't blame the smoker if you're dumb, because most smokers will sing to you and tell you what you got to do. This is your boy Leon D, and I'll see you next time.